You're gonna love every second of this. We're back with another round of reporters getting called out for their bizarre and overly ideological questions. It's becoming a trend at this point where these journalists try to push their agendas with loaded questions, only to end up getting completely obliterated by people who aren't afraid to push back. And honestly, watching someone calmly dismantle their narrative with facts, wit, and a little bit of sass is a sight not to be missed. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
We played some other comments about migrants, including in Aurora, in Colorado, where Trump said the city had been invaded and conquered by Venezuelan gangs. The Republican mayor of the city said flatly the city and state have not been taken over or invaded or occupied by migrant gangs. So do you support Donald Trump making those claims that the Republican mayor says were grossly exaggerated and have hurt the city's identity and sense of safety?
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
She thought she was setting up the perfect gotcha moment. The only thing is this is JD and he wasn't having any of it. Instead of taking the bait, he hit back with the plain old common sense, which for some reason reporters never seem to be prepared for. And when she realized her gotcha was falling apart, she couldn't help herself and cut him off to correct his answer, which then led to this legendary moment.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border? Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again.
It's in moments like these that we're reminded why so many people have completely tuned out of the MSM. Their obsession with Trump is like a never-ending reality show where every word, every action, every misstep, it's turned into a headline. Meanwhile, real issues get pushed to the back burner. And why? Well, because reporting on these problems might accidentally align with something Trump once said, and heaven forbid that they make him look even a little bit right. It's one thing to hold a politician accountable, but when the media becomes so laser-focused on tearing someone down, they stop serving the public and turn into a propaganda machine. Obviously, we can't speak about the president-elect without having a couple of his hilarious responses, so here you go.
You once said that using the debt ceiling as a negotiating wedge just could not happen. You said that when you were in the Oval Office.
That's when I was president.
So why is it different now that you're out of office?
Because now I'm not president.
You know for a fact that she had already played out all the scenarios in her head before asking this question and was confident it would make Trump look like the ultimate villain. But here's the thing about trying to corner someone like him, the man has been in the game way too long to be caught off guard by such a question. Instead of stumbling, he hit back with a simple answer, completely derailing her grand plan. This isn't the first time reporters have tried this approach, and it definitely will not be the last. But nothing comes close to what he said to a French reporter who was asking for the secret behind the US's low unemployment rate.
You have very low unemployment rate in the US and we have a very high unemployment rate in France. How come? What's the recipe for?
Well, maybe we have a better president than you do.
What makes it even funnier is that he gave this answer during a tour of the Louis Vuitton factory in Uvalde, Texas. It was in 2019 and the US unemployment rate fell to its lowest level since 1969. By the way, I've noticed you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, so what are you waiting for? Although Trump likes making a lot of jokes about Macron, the pair still have a good relationship, and France was actually the first country that he visited after winning the past elections. Next, we have Pierre Poilievre, who put a woke reporter in his place in the most epic way possible.
Next free trade deal.
The carbon tax was inserted by Justin Trudeau, not by my supporters. Why did he do that?
No, but I'm just curious. Can you explain to me why there is a carbon tax in the agreement?
No, but the question is why.
No, I asked you a question. You keep asking what the agreement is.
We're the journalists. Why do you think
I have the freedom to ask questions if I want to, and I've just answered. I've been answering your questions all week.
Here's another one.
So no.
The government's introducing
why would
an
you a
investment
carbon
tax credit.
No, you're not changing the subject. I know you want to change the subject.
No, I want to ask
because you don't want to talk about Trudeau's carbon tax.
I want to ask a question because in a democracy we ask the question and you answer.
And I decide the answer I give.
If you listen to this with your eyes closed, you'd think it's an interrogation scene from the Punisher movie, but the tactic Pierre called out is all too common in modern media. They ask a loaded question, get an answer they weren't expecting, and immediately pivot to something else, hoping nobody notices the dodge. Let's be honest here, if you're going to ask the hard questions, at least have the courage to stick around for the answers, even the ones you don't like. The final clip is not the interviewer getting owned, but rather the guest, and it's so satisfying to watch.
You made press because you were on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said something like, you guys at CNN just report the news straight. And the crowd burst into laughter. And I'm a big rooter for CNN, but that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing in that arena of like, this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized, a lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
How is CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night.
I'm sorry, but if you think having people from both sides makes you fair in your coverage, it's nothing but delusional. It's how you cover and talk about them that matters. Bill didn't like her reasoning and followed up with a take that sent the crowd into a clapping frenzy.
I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, well, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This Lonely Scott, I call him.
David Urban was there too.
Wait a second. I watched from 8:09 to 8:23, they was just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out to be. But if I'm a conservative in America and I'm watching CNN, just for the straight middle of the road, that's what I hear for 15 minutes, is it's great, and then Lonely Scott. It does look, and when you see the path, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have just
Well, to be fair, CNN probably had plans to include more people from the right on their shows, but seeing how Scott manages to dismantle an entire panel's arguments in a matter of seconds, well, they decided against it. But I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And by the way, if you love this video, we did another one that has even more reporters getting shut down for their nonsense questions, so click here to play that next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.